Hello and welcome. We've got two interesting guests today, both from Japan, one based in India looking at the software side of the business and one based in Japan looking at the IT business as a whole. Let me introduce both of them to you. To my extreme left is Hidaka-san, President of Gartner Japan, and also looks after the Asia portfolio. To his right and my left is Tamura-san of Hitachi on the software side in India. So Hidaka-san, let me begin with you. And
sure.
What are the kind of broad trends are you seeing as the Gartner man sitting for this part of the world?
Let's start with Japanese kind of business status. Japanese has been growing rapidly, big success, and currently facing a little bit, turmoil, turbulence because of the manufacturing facing competition. New digital domain is expanding where we are not in yet. Population is kind of, getting more aged. Now, those things makes Japanese GDP kind of flat. Well, all Asian countries are growing, right? So that is the current status, right? In India, IT has been growing, right? But their penetration into the Japanese market is very limited, right? So if we can find a way to bridge that, it can help both sides. And it can help accelerate in Japanese economy, I'm pretty sure, by getting their help. So my aim is to really encourage people for this direction and find a way how to do that.
So how can Indian companies get a better toehold in Japan? Many of them are already present and doing well.
Right.
How can that?
US companies like IBM have been dominant in Japanese market in terms of foreign vendor. The majority is done by still Japanese IT vendor, domestic vendor like Hitachi, right? But US has quite a big share of it, about 15% of entire IT services, right? Indians still very small, right? So they can still do a lot of things to improve their market share. In order for that, there are certain things to do, such as understanding the differences, redefining channels to access to Japanese CIOs, focusing on opportunity area that Indians are very good at. Right? So there are lots of areas that you can define your strategy.
So you said that the channels to CIOs, why is that weak?
We have a kind of peculiar culture, based upon a long-term small island history, right? I call it rice farming culture. Rice farming culture means you are afraid of outsiders, you are more family-oriented, you are more people-to-people oriented than mathematics, right? And for that, you have to really be a friend, very close friend with those CIOs. And it's sometimes difficult because language only done by Indian guys. So why don't you leverage Japanese associate or hiring more sales guys or more leaders like US guys are doing? For example, almost everybody in IBM Japan is Japanese. Almost everybody in Gartner Japan is Japanese, right? But we have very good understanding of global strategy. We are the sort of bridge between the two. So that is the area that Indian company can further enhance.
Right, that's interesting. So I'm going to come back to you on that. So Tamura-san, I mean, you've been in India for a while now with Hitachi. So how are you seeing this bridge develop from your perspective?
Yeah, I share the same goal as Hidaka-san mentioned. I'd like to see more better bridge between India and Japan. And for doing that, I took some different approach. That is, I moved into Bangalore. Last April, I moved into Bangalore, and I love India. My favorite thing.
What about Bangalore traffic?
Yeah, I can live with that. It takes 2 hours to go anywhere in Bangalore. I know that. So I can start my office 2 hours before the meeting time, no problem. And actually, I love India. My favorite movie is Three Idiots. And I cannot be like a Rancho, smartest guy. I cannot be handsome as Amir Khan. But I can be like Raju. I mean, you keep your job and I keep my attitude. And by keeping my attitude, I'd like to work for India. And Hitachi is looking at the Indian domestic market and also global market through because you have many global system integrators. We are not trying to do it by ourselves. We are looking for partnership with many of your companies, and by having combining different capability and strengths, we'd like to have a much better solution for customers. And recently, I've learned Hindi word, jugaad, and frugal and flexible, and we have some kind of culture of just in time. By combining those completely different things, we can come up with a stronger solution for customers. That's
and what would you call it?
Huh?
What would you call it?
Not yet named it. Maybe I don't know.
You'll have to think of something.
Yeah.
So, Hidaka-san, I think you talked about, one point you talked about what maybe Indian companies could do to get a better toehold in the Japanese market. One was the culture aspect, hiring more local Japanese, understanding CIOs better, or getting closer to CIOs. What's the other point you said? You said capabilities as well.
Right.
So, what are the deficiencies or what are the shortcomings that Indian companies could address?
Japanese companies, every industry, they want to be global. It used to be like manufacturing only, right? But because of the economy in Japan, also the change in global business market, every industry, every company will be global. Banks, insurance company, collision insurance, retail, food industry, supermarket chains, you name it, right? Pharmaceutical. And they started acquiring lots of companies around the world. Then, because of the closed culture, people face difficulty in managing global operation. And that is an area so easy for Indians to step in, right, and to help Japanese. And maybe in the first phase is help all the operation outside Japan and gradually integrate into Japanese operation, right? So this is another area that we can focus on.
Right. So as we conclude, what's your outlook for the year ahead? How do you see more deals happening in the Indo-Japan corridor?
Yeah, at this moment, even though the base IT offshore is very small, but it's growing at 20–30% every year, while Japanese IT spending is growing only 1%. So the base is small, but growth rate is much higher, and it should be accelerated. Instead of 20%, it should be double or something like that.
Right.
There's a way to do that.
Right. What about you? What's the Hitachi growth path looking like, or the path looking like?
Yes. Yeah. What I'm trying to establish is like an ecosystem in India, including like a development, research and development, and consulting, system integration. By having such kind of ecosystem in India, we can work for Indian society and the global society also. That's what we are looking for. And for doing that, of course, we need more people from Japan to come to India to work with Indian people, and also actually, I'm looking for my team member in India. To visit some of our customers, I need some support from my local staff. I cannot speak Hindi, and to find out some customers' location, I need some support from my local people. And also, even though I study hard about the Indian culture and the society, still, I cannot go to some extent, and I need some help, my team members from local society. That's what I'm looking for.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen.